Nice to get away for a few days, and now it's nice to be back in the gym. You quickly miss being around and here and working. So happy that we're back.
What was the vibe around the team last couple practices?
Oh, great, good energy. We got guys in last night and let them just run it out. Really, we expected to have a lot of turnovers. It was more sweat out the week and sweat out the turnovers type of idea, and I think we accomplished that. So today we were much more serious and locked in to a traditional type of practice and execution and things of that nature, but good energy.
Last time you played Houston, you guys were so good for about 3 quarters. Lonzo got hurt. You actually watched the rest of that game from the locker room. It was kind of a tough loss. What makes James Harden, he's on this crazy streak, just so difficult? The way he just gets space, he gets to the foul line, all that stuff.
Oh, he's a master on the offensive end as far as being able to, score at all levels. He's strong, he's skilled, he reads the defense. He gets himself to the foul line. So, he's a handful to deal with.
Are they different now that Capella's going to return and CP3 is going to return? Maybe a little different offensively from that, or is it still basically James Harden?
No, it's different. It adds some big-time elements that we'll have to adjust our game plan for. And Fareed as well now is playing pretty well for them in the last few games. So we'll see what their rotation looks like, but the game plan will be adjusted.
When you watch your team on tape the last couple weeks, you guys were a top 10 defensive team for the entire year. What did you think was lost? Was it the principles? Was it just a bad rut? In your opinion, what kind of was the main cause for the last couple weeks?
A little bit of everything. I think that time of year it gets tough. Guys are tired. We've had. When you have one of those seasons where you go through a lot of adversity and guys need to step up and play, different roles and whatnot, and the emotional drain of all that, you get to All-Star break, guys are tired, fatigued mentally, physically. We lost some of our, we had some slippage in our foundation, our fundamentals of how we play defense, and I think all of it just caught up to us. So it was good that the break came when it did, and now we gotta be much sharper for these last 25.
LeBron talked about how personally he's going to need to take his game to a higher level, maybe earlier than he likes to. For you, when it comes to managing him, does that put you more on high alert in terms of like the kind of the communication you guys are going to have and how you're going to view his minutes?
No different than we've been. We have a pretty open dialogue about when to get them out, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. So it'll be no different from my end.
Luke, over these next 25 weeks, you got to be much sharper. Math would say you got to play up above 60% these next 25. Can you kind of expand a little bit what much sharper means for you? Obviously, health plays into that.
It will, for one, way less turnovers. That's priority one, taking care of the ball. Defensively, getting back into the top 10 where we've been for most of the season. And we do those by focusing. When I say sharper, I mean locked into the game plan, making the multiple efforts, the things that we were doing earlier this season. So, things like that, taking care of the day-to-day, the day-to-day things in practice or in the game that will allow us to get to where we want to go.
We all saw LeBron take a team in the playoffs last year and really put him on his back. A lot of people in town kind of expect that's what he's going to try to do now. Do you feel that? Does that get you away from what you're trying to do?
No, we know we have, we view as the best player in the world on our team, but we also know that it takes a team to win. So we expect him to lead us, and we expect the other guys on the team to continue to make plays and help us win games. This league is too tough to do it by yourself. So we feel confident and believe in the guys that we have, and it's going to take a full group effort, in this final stretch.
Hey Luke, just looking at the point guard slot, how do you think Brandon and LeBron do in that lineup with Rondo coming off the bench? And then what's just the latest on how Lonzo's doing?
Lonzo's still out, so he's not on the court at all yet. I think Brandon and LeBron have done a nice job of that. I think we lost those 2 games since we switched, but we got off to good starts in the first quarter, which has kind of been something we've been struggling with on and off throughout the season. But we've had some really nice offensive flows the last 2 games. So we got to combine that with our defensive intensity again. But I think they both do a great job of being playmakers and scorers.
Does it feel like the team's in a better mental space than they were heading into the break, and if so, why?
The team's good right now. I think it's what I talked about earlier. It's good to get away. There's a reason they put All-Star break where they do, and it kind of gets everyone fresh again. And whether it's our team or any of the other teams in the league, I feel like most groups are feeling much better energy-wise right now.
You mentioned focus as being key to you guys being sharper. What can you do from a coach's perspective to improve the focus when so much of that is internal in a player?
We're gonna keep practices a little shorter going forward down the stretch. Keep them a little fresher. We'll bring our meditation guy in again and have him lead us through some team meditations. But a lot of it I think will be our guys just kind of policing themselves as far as what we need to get done and how we need to do it. So I don't expect that to be an issue for us.
This will be the first time that Rondo and Chris Paul have played against each other since the second game of the season when they got their little fight. Is that the kind of thing that you think could spill over, even though it's been?
I don't think so. I think both, this late in the season, it's, both teams are more focused on more important things, and it's part of sports. It's not, not something that will take away from what we're trying to get done tomorrow.
The mantra has always been the game at hand, obviously, Houston. Looking on this All-Star break, did you look at the schedule? Did you have in your mind, boy, we need to win 44 or whatever?
Yeah, but that's not where the the emphasis of what we talk to the guys about is. Because the best way to get there is to focus on the task at hand, and it's focusing on the details. It's focusing on, like I said, the defensive coverages, the taking care of the ball offensively. That's where we get to that number. So, I did spend time doing that, but that's not what we're talking to the guys about.
When you say you're a meditation guy, just out of curiosity, was that something that you benefited when you played for Phil, or was that?
Yeah, I loved it. I've used it ever since, and we've been bringing a guy in here for the last 2 years from Headspace, and he leads the group in meditations about once a month, and then the guys are encouraged to get on the app and use it.
Sage too?
I haven't got that. We've gotten close to Sage a couple times this year, but I got to find out where to buy some first. And then I don't know. I think Lisa would be upset with me if I started Sage in this building. So, but we'll get there one day.
When you look at the Atlanta fourth quarter and offensively, you guys just can't seem to buy a bucket. You're missing layups. How much of it do you feel like, okay, we got to call something here, or do we put the ball in LeBron and Rondo's hands and just hit a shot? Like, how much do you guys look at that?
It's a balancing act. I thought we got way too stagnant in the fourth, but I think a lot of it was we were getting great shots. We just weren't making them. There were open threes and layups that weren't going in, but we were still too stagnant. So that kind of happens when you're not moving the ball side to side and getting those actions. If the shots don't go in, there's no rebounding balance. There's not a flow to it. Other teams normally can get out and run on you. So if we're going to do that, we got to knock down those shots. But we can do a better job of keeping the ball going side to side.
Will you stick with the same playing lineup you had in Atlanta, or will you be making changes?
We're looking into that, doing some breakdowns, see what Reggie looks like on Harden. KCP did a really nice job on him last time we played. I know he had a big numbers, but I thought KCP picking him up full court helped. So we're looking at some things, make that decision tomorrow.